If you finish your swim set and you feel that familiar ache on the tip of your shoulder, it's not typically because you're just getting older. It's most likely because your mechanics and your form are off. Shoulder discomfort during a swim and after a swim is frequently a sign that your body mechanics are fighting your anatomy. My name is Coach Steph. I'm a doctor of physical therapy. I've been a swimmer since I was 4 years old, and I'm a triathlon coach. And today we're looking at mechanical efficiency. So I'm going to go through 2 mistakes that you're probably doing in your swim stroke and how you can correct them. The first issue I see that a lot of swimmers do is crossing over midline. So typically when I see swimmers make this mistake, they're crossing over the midline when they are putting their hand into the water after the recovery phase of the stroke. So where is the midline? So think about your nose and think about drawing a straight line from your nose all the way down to your belly button. That is your midline. When you are entering your arm into the water of this recovery phase of stroke, you don't want to be crossing over to the other side of where that imaginary line is. We want to put our arm in the water in the same plane and on the same side of that imaginary line. If you are crossing over, if we look at the shoulder structures, all you're doing is putting your shoulder into internal rotation and adduction. And what that does is that pinches down right here on the joint where a lot of your rotator cuff structures lay. So think about this. If you're just repeatedly over and over and over pinching down on that joint, yeah, it's kind of going to wear it down, right? Now, it's either going to wear it down a little bit or it's going to irritate it. Have you ever heard of something like a tendonitis? So the next time you swim, make sure that your hand is landing over to the side. Try to over-exaggerate that movement because you know what? You may think that you're entering your hand in the right place, but your body is so used to it crossing over that it's going to revert back to that crossing over, and you need to exaggerate how far out your hand is landing in the water. Let's talk about number 2. So this second one, we're talking about the catch phase of your stroke. This is where you're getting the most power out of your swim stroke. This is right before your pulling phase. So it's setting up the right position of your arm and shoulder in order to grab the most amount of water that then you can push down underneath your body, and that is going to propel your body further and faster in the water. Here's a common thing that people make the biggest mistake on the catch. It's dropping the elbow down when they go to push down. So when your hand enters the water, you want to think about rounding your shoulder. So you're rounding your shoulder, you're keeping your hand kind of pointed downward, and you want to keep the elbow up, kind of up in the sky. So elbows up, shoulders rounded, hand is down. We're engaging our lats. We want to engage that muscle so we can use that muscle. And then you can start pulling down as you rotate your body. I did mention the lats because it is important to use those bigger muscles to pull down through instead of using these smaller compensatory muscles that your shoulder joint is just getting overworked through the stroke. Fixing these mechanics is really hard to do on your own without having someone else watch you, either on the deck or through a video. So I have 2 ways that I'm able to help you with your swim stroke. If you live in the Austin area, we are hosting a swim clinic this February. February 1st is going to be swim clinic skills and drills to improve your swim stroke for the 70.3 distance. It's a 1.2 mile swim would be your goal for this spring. On February 28th, you can pair that with an open water swim clinic. And if you feel like you need a little bit more help and you're just not quite there at that distance yet, we do have a very beginners swim clinic on March 1st. We'll have beginners and intermediate, and it's going to be in the pool setting. We'll have about 4 coaches on deck so you can get the most out of this experience. If you don't live in Austin, I do offer virtual swim analysis sessions. So please send me an email. My email is stephanie@r3endurance.com, and then we can get that set up for you. So the next time you go out to practice your swim, try to incorporate these 2 new things into your swimming program, and I bet you'll feel a difference.